Hey friend, it's Brandon Gustafson. In today's video, we are going to be talking about assisted living business startup costs in 2024. If you want to know how much it's going to cost you to get started, make sure you stick around for today's video. Hey friend, I'm Brandon Gustafson. I own and operate 2 assisted living facilities, and I created assistedlivinginvesting.net to help you learn the ins and outs of investing in assisted living. Welcome to Assisted Living Investing. In today's video, we're going to be talking about residential assisted living business startup costs. What's it going to cost you to start your assisted living business? Before I get started, though, I want to remind you to get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net. You can get access to our free underwriting calculator there. I have a ton of other resources there on the website, but that calculator is going to help you out with a lot of what we're talking about today. There's a tab in there that's even just about those startup expenses. It's going to help you out through there. So if you don't already have it, make sure you get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net, get access to that free underwriting calculator. It's going to help you on your investment journey. Now let's get into it. What are the startup costs for a residential assisted living business? Now I'm going to go through 3 different scenarios here. Number 1 that we're going to be talking about is going to be rental arbitrage with your residential assisted living business. What is it? What does it look like? How does it work? So I was having a conversation the other day with a person that follows me on the channel, and she owns a home, and she's the landlord and has been doing single family rentals for a long time. And she had somebody approach her with the idea of doing a care home out of the house. And so she had found me through the YouTube channel, and she's like, could you answer some questions for me and see if this is going to work? We had a really good conversation. I actually did a live on this on the channel, so we'll link that up above, but make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you get notified, because I put this kind of content out that's super helpful and you can take action on it immediately. So make sure you're subscribed and ringing the bell so you get notified when that happens. Anyways, what we were talking about, the way that this works is she's going to set a lease amount for the person that's going to be leasing the space from her. She's probably going to do it a little bit higher than what she would do with a single family home, but that's okay, especially for you as an operator. You can handle a slightly higher rent because it's still probably going to be less than what you would be paying to buy a home with your mortgage rate. So if you're strapped for cash, this is actually a really good way to do it. So let's say in this scenario, you're going to be paying like between $2,000 and $5,000 per month for you to lease out a house, so you can put your assisted living business, your care home inside of this house. So $2,000 to $5,000. When you're starting this, I would say you'd probably want to have a few months of money built up, so that, you know, as you're getting things situated, that you have a little bit longer lead time. So let's say you need 4 months of that. So that's $20,000 upfront that you want to have just kind of in the bank, ready to go for paying your lease amount. Next thing you want to have is going to be some of those bigger major expenses that you need to take into account as you get started with your assisted living business. And I've got a video that goes over the 4 major expenses that you need to be aware of when you start an assisted living business. So make sure you go watch that, because that's going to help you out in understanding what this looks like. But the ones that you want to be aware of are going to be food. So you need to have food for your residents. You need to get your staffing in place and make sure that you are paying your staff. You're going to want to have your insurance in place as well. So you're going to want to have all of those things in place, plus that little bit of reserve in place for your lease amount. So I would say in this scenario, you're probably going to need about $50,000 to $80,000 in the bank, ready to just go. And you're not spending that all at once on one thing, which is not going to be the case with these other 2 options. But it's something you want to make sure that you have available just in case you need it, so that you can operate your business successfully and not feel too pinched for money as you get things up and running. So 50 to 80,000, I think, is a really good range for you to have in the bank, ready to go to start this type of a business, going the rental arbitrage route. Again, with this option, you're not going to have the real estate, so you don't get those tax benefits of having the real estate, which is a bit of a bummer, but you can get started a lot more quickly. For round numbers and for comparison's sake, let's just say this one's going to cost you $60,000 to start. Now, the second option is going to be purchasing an existing facility. And let's say you're going to do this with an SBA loan. And as we've talked about before in previous videos, make sure you go watch those. Your SBA down payment is going to be 15 to 20% down on a home. So let's say it's $1 million and you need to put 20% down. That's going to be $200,000 right there. as your down payment that you want to do. Now, the other thing that you want to be aware of as you go with the SBA is you can actually get some extra operating capital. So that $60,000 that we talked about in the scenario where you're doing the rental arbitrage, you're still going to want to have that just in your back pocket to make sure that you are ready. So 3 to 6 months of operating expenses. And on the underwriting calculator that I have a way for you to kind of figure out what that's going to be. So you know how much you should be asking for as you get that SBA funding. So let's say that you wanted to have an extra $60,000. Now, what you need to think here is like, oh crap, now I have to have $60,000 extra dollars, so now it's 260. That's not the case. So you're purchasing a home for $1 million and you're adding $60,000 onto that loan. So rather than you putting $200,000 down, because that's 20% of $1 million, now you need 20% of $1,060,000. That's not that much more. Okay, so let's just say, for sake of argument, you're keeping it at $200,000 down for your payment there. If you're purchasing an existing facility for $1 million, gives you an idea of what that's going to look like. Now, the third option is the buy and convert. So what does that look like? So if you're doing a buy and convert, let's say that you need to get a house that is $500,000 and you're doing a traditional conventional mortgage and you've got to put 30% down. So that's going to put you 30% of $500,000 is $150,000 for that one. But now you also need to get some access to some capital to do renovations on the home and make sure you have that $60,000 that we've been talking about set aside for your operational budget for 3 to 6 months. So you want to get an extra $200,000, but you can't get that through the conventional mortgage. So you actually need to do an SBA loan on that, or some kind of a small business loan through a local bank or local credit union, and you've got to put 20% down on it. So you're getting $200,000, you've got to put 20% down on that amount. So that's another $40,000 that you've got to put into this. So now you're at $150,000 down on the house payment, and you've got to put another $40,000 down to get access to the rest of that capital to get you started. And now you're at $190,000 that you've got to put into this. So as it stands, those numbers that I gave you as examples, just kind of quick examples so you get a feel for what that looks like. The cheapest way to do this is going the rental arbitrage route. You could do it on a shoestring budget and get started that way. If you go the SBA route, you're probably going to need, $200,000-ish, depending on the purchase of the house, more or less. It's going to be a percentage of that. And if you're buying a house to convert, you're probably going to actually be in the same ballpark as if you're buying an existing facility. Now, there's pros and cons for both of those. One big pro with purchasing an existing facility is you have a business. You don't have to, you're doing a change of ownership on the license. You don't have to get it recertified or go through it's a much easier licensing process than starting from scratch, and less headaches and things like that. You have more residents in there. Whereas doing the conversion, you can get it exactly how you want. It's nice, it's newer, it's kind of an exciting thing. And so you just kind of want to, which of those are going to be better for you? And I don't know what the answer is. That's up to you to decide which one is going to be a better option for you and which one's going to meet your needs and which one are you most excited about. That's what I would go with. All that said, what you're probably going to be looking at is anywhere from $60,000 to $200,000 based off of this example that I gave you. You could definitely go more than that. I think bare minimum, you are wanting to be at about $60,000, have that much money available to you in operating capital. If you don't have it, you could probably get a small business loan for around $60,000, and then you're looking at 10 to 20% down, so $6,000 to $12,000 down, which is much more reasonable. I think anybody could figure out a way to make that work. Those are just some of the options that give you an idea of what those startup costs are going to look like as you look to start your residential assisted living business. If you need help with that, make sure you get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net, get access to our free underwriting calculator. And then if you scroll down on the site, you're going to see a bunch of other resources and courses, our accelerator course, the business planning guide, all these things. You can also sign up for mentorship if you want some one-on-one coaching with me, and we can do a free discovery call, and I can chat with you about that and what that process looks like as well. So if you need some help there, make sure you do that. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, get notified every time we put this content out. I'm putting super helpful content out there to help you on your investment journey. That's what I'm here for and what I'm all about. So make sure you are doing that. share the video as well to somebody that might be interested in learning a little bit more about this. I love when I get my reports from YouTube and I see that I'm getting a lot of shares. Like it's really cool to see that. So make sure you're sharing that with people. Does residential assisted living sound interesting to you, but you don't know how to get started? At assistedlivinginvesting.net, we're here to help you through the process, start to finish. I want to thank you again for watching and remind you that you just got to keep going, keep making progress step by step by step. Consistent effort is going to be what brings you success, and you can do it. I promise you can. Thanks for watching and have a great day.